I know some people say Guya should not do any more competitions.
Yes.
But for the sake of the fans and the sake of the sport and the culture, and you know, it's nice to compete. I hear people say, especially women, is men are not masculine nowadays, or men are too feminine, and and you know, having a good body and a structure is a big part of masculinity. Rome wasn't built in a day.
True.
So when you're young, you have that eagerness and you lack patience. You can work hard, but patience is not something very many young people have. They work very hard, very, very hard, but patience. Just before I started my prep for that show that I didn't do, then I fell sick. I dropped down like 6 kgs.
6 kg?
6 kg, for clean. 6 kgs. Japanese saying that goes champions are made when no one is watching, right? So I understand. I don't hold it on people if they don't know what it goes through. It's their job. It's not their job to know. But it's good. At least they get to recognize what the final product.
Okay. Did you get all your money?
Well, I know what you're trying to get into. I know what you're trying to get into. So.
Philip Guya.
Yes.
Kwaje?
Amingo po baba.
Congratulations to Mr. 001 heavyweight overall champion.
Thank you, man.
So I would like us to, who is Guya first? For someone who is going to hear this set for the first time, who is Philip Guya?
Philip Guya is just your average guy who likes to train, and training turned into a passion of bodybuilding turned into competing turned into, you know, what God gave us with, at least bless us with a championship. But Philip Guya is just your average guy who likes to compete, likes to train, likes to keep in shape, and it turns out it can lead you to winning a few things.
Okay, give me a little bit about your background. How is your background? What is your background? A part of bodybuilding?
Behind the scene, I like to be, I do my best to stay humble. I do my best to be very grateful to everything I have. You know, sometimes, you know, bodybuilding can be, a huge part of it can be a genetic factor. So genetics, usually you don't choose your own genetics, you're given. So you have to be very grateful about that. Then when I'm not bodybuilding, you know, I like to just live life. I try not to take things too seriously. I try to be like, again, grateful. I try to just, you know, learn a lot. I like watching a lot of things to learn. I'm a podcast guy. I'm heavy on YouTube. Even for entertainment, I watch podcasts. I mean, so that's just basic me. I'm an average self-improvement, male improvement guy who, and I think a part of it is also bodybuilding. You know, when you build your body, you build a strong mind as well. You're building your mind as well. Yeah.
Okay. I would like to understand is, if you are not competing or you're not being as a fitness trainer, what else do you do?
I work in construction. So we're family business, we're contractors. So if I wasn't doing gymming, I'll be doing that more full time. So, but you know, for me, this is a hobby that happens to pay a little bit. So.
Okay, but where you make your living is from construction. Okay. I like you take me through about your, if you look at these medals, here, if you look at all this standing here, this is 2024?
That's 2024. That's Mr. East Africa. We were fortunate enough to win the Classic Physique in 2024.
If someone look at this medal, they see achievement. What do you see on this?
2024 was a very good year because it was a very complicated year. You know, it's funny, every prep seems to be a very tough one.
Okay.
This year, I remember, I think we had a few issues with, was it my health? Yeah. A few issues with sometimes it just takes a few hits. I mean, so I think when I see that year, I just see a good struggle that always that trophy. I see a good struggle that always turns into a good reward. You know, it just reminds you to always keep pushing forward, no matter how hard you get hit. I mean,
Take me through about this journey, the prep, the journey, how you end up to win this show.
okay.
What's the package? What was the plan?
So that year we had chosen, I remember 2024, so they said they're going to do Miss East Africa Classic Physique. I mean, we said we're going to do Miss East Africa Open initially. Then we said, you know what? In fact, Richard Guitar is one who called me and said, I hope you're doing Classic as well. I was like, you know what? I'll do Classic too, because Classic Physique category is the one that I enjoy the most, you know. That's why I get to do the posing routines, and you actually get to showcase your artistry. It's the most artistic category out of all of them. At least that's what I think so. So we decided to do the 2 shows. Initially, I've never done 2 shows in a show, 2 categories in a show.
Category show.
So I was like, you know what? I don't know how that will be, because you have to be very much in shape. You have to be completely in shape.
Yes.
So we practiced those things. So when every time I was training posing. I was making sure when I'm running through my poses.
You're doing like two poses.
So I make sure at the end, you know how there's front 8 poses, front relaxed, front double bicep, front lat spread, side chest, side tricep, back double bicep, back lat spread, abs and thighs. So before I go into abs and thighs, then most muscular. So before I go into most muscular, I'll do my favorite Classic Physique pose.
Classic pose.
So and that's really harder, because Classic Physique you have to hold vacuums more. So because of Classic, you got to get to practice your vacuums. It was fun. Your creativity really comes through when you're doing Classic Physique, compared to open bodybuilding where you can just be. You know, in Classic Physique, when you do front double bicep, sometimes that thing is on the side. Jamana.
That side.
So my creativity got to come through, and when we're doing this right after the open, you feel much more in shape. You feel much more. Actually, you feel, because you saw it pounds your fitness so hard. So when you're doing Classic Physique, it's not as difficult on stage.
Or between Classic and heavyweight.
Heavyweight, you know, you're running through 8 poses. Classic, you're running through 5 poses. So you can imagine which one is harder.
Yeah.
But Classic Physique can be harder because holding those vacuums sometimes are.
You need to hold vacuums into it. Okay. And here we have this medal. This you came number 2.
That was second place. We tried very hard. We got second place. We tried. Of course, we're going for all of it. We're being greedy. So it's to win everything. Peter now Classic
and Open.
Can it be done? Maybe one day we'll see. But we managed to get second place, which is not bad.
After you won this show, then you went home. How did you feel? What was in your mind?
After I won the show?
Yeah, after the won show.
It was good. It was a good high. I remember that show was very, very big in Nairobi. So the hype along Nairobi was big for some time. So I was getting recognized a few places here and there. I got to realize how much people appreciate Classic Physique. They appreciate the posing, they appreciate the artistry, the poetry to it. So that was the feeling that I got. At least it's nice to see when people appreciate something. It's nice to see that.
Okay. How many shows have you done?
I've not done that many shows. Only like my last show, which was 4 weeks ago, was my 4th show.
4th show.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we talk about the show of last year, that's 2025. Let's talk about these 3 shows you have done. The show gani umeifanya ukafika home ukasema I've done something. This show I've bring all my package, what I'm supposed to bring on the stage. But vitu hazikuwa na venye ulikuwa unatarajia.
The more, so the first show, I'd say the last show I did. Other than the last show I did was the hardest I've ever felt the hardest. I mean, not, you know, when something, let's say me and you are to climb a mountain,
Yes.
or to do 10 push-ups, but when you're 10 push-ups, when you're 10 kgs heavier, the push-ups are harder. When you're 10 kgs lighter, the push-ups are easier. So this, I don't know if I worked harder or it was just harder on me.
Okay.
But I'll tell you, it was hard. This was the hardest I ever pushed myself. So I could pride a bit of myself because there's a lot that happened in during prep. We had hurdles and ups and downs, and we just kept on going. So now I had to push myself to another level because I got to progress. I got to do easy. It was down, then up, then up, then injury, then so.
And take me through the 001 you did 2024, 13 December. From the start, from the prepping to the end, the show. How was the journey? Taking that journey.
2024.
Yes. 2025, sorry.
2025.
Yeah, 2025.
Okay. So the start went. So we started out. We were preparing for a different show outside. Yeah?
Yes.
So when we were preparing for a different show outside, we came off an illness. So I remember when I bulked to 120 kg just before I started my prep for that show that I didn't do. Then I fell sick. I dropped down like 6 kgs.
6 kg.
6 kg for clean. 6 kg. So then I had to get it back up again a bit, then start the prep again. So the body was not looking as full as it was supposed to. So then somewhere along the way we cancelled. We didn't cancel going for the show because things did not line up.
Yes.
And we just had a few difficulties, which were a lot of it was not in my control, but you just accept. And then you want the whole story.
Yes, just take me
and
through the
then just a week after that, I would say, you know what, we're already halfway into a prep, let's just focus on 001. So what my coach decided to do was to do a refill. So we started refilling our body up with carbs. So in that refill, I got to gain a bit more size, some fullness came back. So I tried to maintain that fullness, but in between that, I lost someone who was like a father to me. So then that set me back. So you have to, for about 3 weeks, I wasn't training as I need to. I was still trying to train here and there, but you're not doing everything.
Focus.
You're doing 60% of what you need to do.
Yes.
And even that, some weeks you don't have the dieting, you don't have the strict food the meals that you need to take in. So then 5 weeks into Mr. 001, we decided to put our head down. After everything was settled down, to come Zika. Then after that, we really put our head down. I pretty much just had to struggle. I just decided I'm going to suffer. Let me suffer as much as I can. And alhamdulillah, we came with the win.
When you said to suffer, what did you did than the previous show 2024 ulifanya this time ukufanya tofauti?
You know, it's not that it's a circumstance that put me in a place that I had to suffer.
Okay.
So if you know you're behind,
you have to work harder.
You have to work super hard.
Yes.
You have to put the meals more details. And even in between that, I even mentioned 3 weeks before the show, I got an injury on my knee. I wasn't able to move my leg. I don't even know how it started moving again. So the knee, I had the ACL was an agitated ACL.
Okay.
Right? So it just fortunately didn't Ikwenda. So after that, it's suffering. The whole way was just suffering.
The cause of the injury knee?
I was doing lunges. So then usually so the way I train, sometimes I like to pre-exhaust my muscle. So when I'm doing legs.
Okay.
So usually I'd focus more on sweep, but this time I decided to focus more on my teardrop.
Okay.
So when I was doing the teardrop, and I haven't focused on it in such a long time, then I combined that with lunges.
Ukaistua.
Weekend hivi.
Did you
The
realize,
legs bent to the side.
will you realize your time ushamaliza ama after you went
In the
home?
middle of it.
Oh.
In the middle of it, it's just then you leave it. Then you can't move for like a good. Fortunately, in a week I was able to move it again. So in a week, yeah. So well, sometimes you just work through some pains. So yeah.
What about if you say ulikuwa late for 5 weeks? Take me through your meal plan. How many meals ulikuwa nakula? How many meals?
Usually I do 5 meals, but it depends. You'll do 5 meals and play with the calorie amount in every meal. So it doesn't. So even though I'm bulking, I'm doing 5. Even though I'm cutting, I'm doing 5. But the proteins pretty much almost stays the same. But the calorie amount, there's one that goes up and down there.
Okay. Why did you this time you didn't decide to compete to do 2 shows? This time we focused only 1 show. Why?
So no, of course. So generally, when you focus on 2 shows, and if you have a high chance of winning, if you have a chance of winning shows, but if you focus on both 2 shows, right? Let's say you're doing 2 categories, Classic Physique and Open, but then you can win one competition. The judges see it's the same judges, so the judges see you can win this competition. But then in another one, you're very close with each other, right?
Yes.
The judges are more likely to give you one and not give you the other, right? Of course, the guy who beat me, all praise, all props to him. He was looking good. He was looking good, and he deserves that win, right? But let's say if me and him were very, very close, the judges will have, and the judges know I'm going to win Classic Physique. They're not going. The chances that they're going to give me that win are much less. So just to increase my chances this time in winning the Open, because I focus on only doing Open.
If you look at this here, the one from 001, because people, they will see the achievements, they see the trophy, what you have won. But if someone asks you, Guya, what does this mean to you?
What this taught me is not only suffering, but because I suffered a lot, but it taught me it's not about how hard you can hit life, right? It's about how hard you can get hit by life and keep moving forward, right? Because a lot of things will happen. Nothing will be a straight road. You know, the road to heaven is bumpy, and but you got to keep going. So, because a lot of things happened, I could have quit. I could have said, "Hey, this life has happened too much. Let me just stop." I mean, I'm not getting, but it's winning the show won't really. I mean, yeah, it could change your life in terms of being champ and respect, but winning the show, I could say it's not that important. But if you keep going, I mean, you can show that you have some resilience, and you can teach you some lessons, remind you some lessons about life. And the main one was, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
If you look at the package you brought last year, 2024, and 2025. Which package hata umeisema kwa sema, this one I did very well?
Depends.
Between these 2 shows, 2024 and 2025.
That's a good question. So I was 3 kgs heavier in this show.
Oh,
3 kgs heavier.
3 kg.
3 kgs heavier. So I can say this package was better. This package was much better, especially for Open.
Okay.
It was a fuller. The legs were much better. Even despite the injury, I don't know how he managed to get the legs up. The waist was the same. The conditioning, some people say it's the same. I felt like maybe 2024 I had a better conditioning.
Not 2025.
I think so, but I'm not. That's just a feeling that I have. But most people said it was the same level of conditioning, because usually my glutes were still lacerated, my hamstring was showing even better than last year. So, but I still feel like last year I was slightly more conditioned. But I don't know which one would I'll say this one. This one would edge out the other. This 2025 physique would edge out the 2024.
Okay. If I want to enter to Philip Guya, if you want to write a book, or a
Write
story.
a book.
Yeah, just this example about your story. What is one thing someone anaweza soma kutoka kwa kitabu yako ni mstiki kwa akili msaidie maisha yake yote? What the thing you can tell for a young guy who want to enter to bodybuilding?
Okay, I wouldn't write a book about myself, but I would.
This is a diary.
Huh?
A diary. I want to read a diary.
Diary. There are a lot of things. I can't really pinpoint to one thing. Of course, I've said the one for keep moving forward, despite how hard life hits you. But I'd say also as you're going along, just remind yourself to be just grateful. I mean, like a lot of things happen which are out of your control. You know, you no matter where you are in life, there's some gratitude you can have.
Okay.
As all motivation and all, I don't want to be all, what do you call it? I don't want to sound like one of these motivational or
Speaker.
I don't want to sound like that, and I don't mean to sound like that, but as I think it's underrated how grateful you should be just even waking up. You know what I mean? So I think that's one thing. If I was to write a book, I would just try. Appreciate what you have, gratitude. Some people, there's always someone in a worse situation than you, and we can look for little blessings here and there. So that's what I would say. Just try, and if I were to write a book, that's something I'll try and now, because with me, I'm blessed more than most people. I'm privileged more than I'd argue 90% of people, and I'm grateful for that. So I have to constantly be grateful for that. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'll try to. I try to have people. Most people, I know some people will be very hard for them to see life in that aspect because they see life and a lot of bad things are happening to them, and most of the people they see around them are much more privileged. They might be in poverty. They might be physically restrained. And it's very hard for them to be grateful at that point. But I don't know. I think there's a little bit of light in everyone's life if you look deeply.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit about the 001 show. How was the show? We got the East Africa and 001. Give me a lit. How was the show?
Well, because I won the show, it's very easy to say that the show was good. It's very easy to say, well, but objectively, I can compare. You want me to compare the two?
Yes.
Well, that's. Well, you want to get me in trouble?
Not in trouble. The reason that is, people they want to understand, they think, I'll ask you those later. Let's continue. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what I'd say about, so 2024 Mr. East Africa was pretty much the best show in terms of fans and entertainment that a fan could come and watch bodybuilding. I think it put bodybuilding on the map at a degree that it hasn't been in a while. Maybe in the early 2000s it was that big, but 2024 it was massive, and it was such a great show that it's very hard to top that. Okay. I mean, you're in Nairobi, you're in a place where it's highly populated, much more. There's a higher. Well, I don't know if they do city GDP, but it's a higher income place. It's higher. It's easy to get people to. Sorry, the show itself was in a place where it's central, so people could easily come there. So it was a sold out show, and the ambience was good. The lighting was good. It was step on stage. It was just perfect. It was. I mean, you can't correct anything other than the judges took too long in men's physique. So, other than the timing, everything else was perfect. So, topping that, to be fair on Mr. 001, that'd be very, very hard, right? They can't, like, to top that in a different city, which is not as highly populated, bodybuilding is not as popular. Maybe it is, but not as popular. You don't have even though you could hire someone to do it to get some of the stuff and it'd be hard to get a similar venue like where Mr. East Africa did, it's very, very difficult. So to compare the two shows would be very, very hard. But I'd say 2024 was a very good show. 2025 was, there's some aspects they could have done better for the athletes.
Like what? Like what?
So on the day, I I like the way the athletes showed up. I think the Kenyan athletes, the ones who are in Miss Africa 2024, I think the physiques were slightly better in 2025.
What? In 2025 was better
Like people were conditioned.
than
People were
2024.
down. People were conditioned. Like guys were dry. You know what I mean? People were dry. Like it was like I was seeing some of the guys some faces that I saw in Mr. South Africa. You couldn't even believe it's the same guy. The guy that battled Sultan Sahil.
Sultan.
It was dry. Sultan was dry to the face. I mean,
Yes.
you had even in light heavy are very competitive. You had Litali, you had what's his name?
Dan Michela?
Dan Machela.
Yes.
Those guys were dry. Even coming up, even before the show, you just look at pictures like, hey, this guy's gonna what a sumbua. So even Barack, who came third in heavyweight,
Yes.
that's his best. That's the best he ever looked. And if you looked at him last year, it's like a whole different person. So I say the athletes showed up. Men's physique athletes even showed up. We didn't have the same competitors as. Actually, we did have some same. I mean, we have the same champion in men's physique,
Yes.
but the level of competitiveness that was brought, I think we had more people get into a higher tier than being spread around the spectrum. I mean, so at the spectrum of being very, very good, we had more people.
More people.
Crumbled up in there than before in Mr. South Africa was spread. So you had very few guys looking good, but in 001 you had a lot of guys.
A lot of guys looking good.
Yeah. So that's what I'd say. It was very competitive, and by looking good, I mean coming in condition, not just with size, because conditioning is hard.
True.
Conditioning is very hard. That point, it's very easy to be like, hey, at this, I'm going to stop here, maintain my body at this. But to take it an extra step further and be like, I need to get drier. Let me dial down on my food again, cut the calories. That's a mental aspect that only people who are only people who have demons
suffer.
People who have demons in their mind are the ones who are able to achieve that.
Okay.
So yeah, that was very nice to see. That was very nice. In terms of the athletes, I even coached an athlete completely natural. He was able to make it to the top 10 in his first time in his competition. Shout out shout out Matana. He's called Matana. Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to Matana. He went physique. Hearing his number being called, it was the last number that was called going into the final. So it was really good to hear that he was looking good. His first show, he was looking drier than ever. Lost like 25 kgs of. He was weighing 103, went to about 80, 79 there. So guys really came in dialed in this show. Compared
What
to
about the organizers of the event? How was the event?
Which one?
The event 001 we're talking about. How the event was?
So 001, the organizers could have, the good things that they could have done a bit better, right? I didn't personally like, of course I won the show, so it's easy for me to say it was a good show. I got my title, I got my trophy and I went. But to be objectively fair, there were a few issues that could have been worked on, especially when it comes to the stage. So the stage could have been a bit bigger and could have been covered up a lot sooner because it was really hot. The ground was really hot. The sun was shining directly to the ground and they could have done a better job on that. As far as I think that was the main thing that really stood out. I think coming in on stage and just having your feet are hot, it's hard to focus on flexing your body right there. And then the sun is hitting you right away. Everyone is going to sweat. It's already a very hot place, Mombasa.
Yes.
Ukiongeza jua hapo,
Umechomeka.
wachomeka.
From 1 to 10, how can you rate the event from 1 to 10?
I mean, let me ask you, how would you put Mr. East Africa? What would you give it?
No. Just give me.
Now, if you were to give me, if you were to give Mr. East Africa out of 10, what would you give it?
I can give it 9.
Give it 9.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll give Mr. East Africa a 9 as well.
001.
001. Objectively, which I think everyone knows they could have done a slightly better job. We can say, as an athlete,
Yes.
we can say a 6
Why 6?
because of the stage. Because I mean, personally, for me, I had a routine that was prepared for. I wanted to showcase that routine. The DJ was a bit off. He didn't come prepared. The DJ didn't come prepared. What else? Yeah, the DJ didn't come prepared. Then also, you want to have so with that routine, and then you find a DJ is not prepared. It can really put you at a place where you don't get to what you practice. You want to showcase that. When you train very hard for something, you always want to showcase it. You don't just want it to go to waste. Yeah. So that's what, as an athlete, I think I'll give it a 6.
Give it 6.
Maybe let me say an adjustable 7.
7. Why? Okay,
Six,
I
between
did
6.
some interviews with Kai, the one from Tanzania. He gave it. Is 5? 5. Yeah, he gave it 5.
I'll give it a 6. I'll give it a 6.
6. Okay. Did you get all your money?
Well, I know what you're trying to get into. I know what you're trying to get into. So,
No, that's the question is.
yeah, of course.
They will ask, did you get all your money?
Well, you're the winner of the show, so I did get all my money, and they gave it to me right away,
Okay.
in cash.
Okay.
So good on them. They were very, very. On that part, they were. What do you call? They kept their word. On that part.
What about heavyweight category? You want heavyweight category, then you want to overall. When you want to heavyweight category, number 2, number 3, they were supposed to get money or no?
I don't know. I know the average person from listening to it would have thought that they were supposed to get money.
Okay.
Yeah. The average person would have thought, hey, yeah, I'm supposed to get money here because it says from 2 to 6. But then they came out with something saying that, of course, it was 2 to 6 of the total of the people who get into the finals. I can't say much about that, but I guess it is what it
The
is.
reason is that I hear what they say. You see, the one from Tanzania, Bondia, is the one who came number 2 heavyweight. You get a yogurt.
Yeah, Nani,
Alipata
Obina.
yogurt.
Yeah.
Alipata yogurt.
Alpata?
Yogurt.
Okay.
That's exactly he got. Alipata yogurt. The number 3 was Barack. The same thing, yogurt. So what about number 1?
Number 1, usually when it comes to a bodybuilding show, he doesn't get, because he's moving to the finals, he doesn't get what he's getting until whatever he
final.
places in the finals, yeah.
So do you think for your opinion, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, they were supposed to get yogurt?
Not yogurt, but of course I think they should have been paid. It would have been nice to compensate them at least something more than it's not gonna pay off. It's not gonna
Return the money.
it's not gonna pay for the amount of work you put in just to showcase that physique. But yeah, I think they should have been paid, of course. I think even though legally they say that 2 to 6 it's only for the open category, it'd be nice to see everyone who has some sort of reasonable placing, at least, let's say like any show, anyone who podiums or gets top 3, or if they say 2 to 6, just like how Mr. South Africa did, it'd be nice to see them than pay the athletes.
So the Mason, they say they will give from 2 to 6, meaning 2 to 6 they were supposed to get money.
Yeah, I think they said 2 to 6. Then eventually they said 2 to 6 on
the page,
poster,
on the poster.
and then they said that it's only 2 to 6 of the finals. So they, when you say bodybuilding, you mean bodybuilding as a whole, because bodybuilding has a finals.
Yes.
So you mean bodybuilding as a whole. So when you get to the finals, that 2 to 6. It is what it is, but I can understand why that's unfortunate. Of course, I'm not in that position, so I can't really say I don't feel that pain. But I can understand that. I can understand why they felt that pain.
Okay. If you look at the 001 in East Africa, which show did you feel was too competitive?
Competitive.
Yes.
Competitive.
Yeah, like the show you did the field. I'm stepping on the stage. There's a huge guys.
For me.
Yes.
For me, it was very competitive East Africa Open, but overall, it was very competitive.
001.
001. Over 001, like I said, there are more people who came in, so in East Africa, not many people were in the top tier of the spectrum in terms of conditioning.
Yes.
But in 001, a lot of people came in. So instead of having, out of 100 athletes, let's say you have 100 athletes, in just an example here, not that I'm saying it is, in 00, in East Africa 2024, you can say 10 athletes came dialed in, right, in total, right? But in East Africa, I'd say 40 athletes. It's not the actual number, but I'm just giving you a percentage. Okay. 40 athletes came in dialed in. So if 40 athletes versus 10 athletes, it may, of course, the 40 athletes would make it more competitive. If all of us, like the judges would have a harder time.
Yeah.
But if in East Africa, I remember the judge took me and the champion, his name is Cobra. After we posed, we put us side by side and then sent us back. Then they already decided the number 1 and 2, but you don't know who's number 1 and number 2.
Okay.
So that's why it's much more competitive for me. And they really, the crowd was really getting into it, right? So you really felt like this one I'm going to have to work for. I'm sure he felt the same way. So this one we're going to have to make sure I'm presenting my physique the best of my ability. Some people, of course, some fans, and that one you can say, why that was competitive, because that one had mixed. If I think someone told me if you ask the fans were 50-50 on it. Some fans said Cobra, some fans said Guya. Okay. I mean, so of course, because it's home crowd, you'll have more fans on your side more than an outsider as a Tanzanian coming into Kenya.
Yes.
But in terms of being competitive, if you have the judges unable to make a decision, I would say that moment was competitive. But as a whole, Mr. 001 was competitive. I mean, yeah.
What is your plan in 2026 in bodybuilding?
Well, inshallah, we stay healthy. I just want to make sure that I improve my health. I have my joints I'm getting older, so I have to watch my body a lot more. I make sure my tendons are not, I'm more flexible. I want to get more flexible and to, of course, increase size to the highest that I could. And then compete. Let's see which international competitions we can do.
Okay. The Vienna show right now is going to happen in Kenya. This in October. Do you have a plan to compete again?
If it's 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after a show that I choose internationally or shows, I'll definitely do it. Okay. I mean, it's people say, I know some people say Guya should not do any more competitions.
Yes.
But for the sake of the fans and the sake of the sport and the culture and it's nice to compete.
They say you need to go out there and represent out there now.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that. But to forbid me from competing here, I can understand why, but
watch it. Yeah, just leave it for the young guys now to start competing. You have nothing to prove. You have done. So what else do you want?
Um, I would like, there's in one podcast last, I think a year ago, I mentioned that if I ever, I mean, yeah, if it'd be nice to win two categories, clean,
Two category,
clean,
the same stage. So that is your.
where the judges are not. That'll be a level of respect that I think.
Do you feel it's going to be difficult? Like the one
Of
person,
course, it's going to be difficult.
yeah, you one person just won two show in
Yeah.
a row, the same stage, the same day.
Very hard, very hard, because the judges are more likely not to give you because they want to spread the
The bread, they don't
wins.
spread the bread.
Yeah, spread the bread.
Yes, okay.
So if one guy comes in and takes everything, who does he think he is? Only Nani. Don't even Nani.
I thought I was working like it. You want to take classic and you want to take
Who do you think
open.
you are, man? So that'd be nice. That'd be nice to do that. So if I can do that, we'll see. I'll see if I can come in very dialed into my physique. I think I can do it.
What is always motivate you to do bodybuilding? You
One
never
of the
sit down and say, I want to quit this, because if you look at bodybuilding, there's no money in bodybuilding. You can spend a lot than what you're going to receive. So what is always put you to do exactly? Say, this year I'm going to prep, no matter if there's no money there, but I'm still going to do it.
for some reason, having a good physique inspires other people to better themselves as well. When I think we're going through a male crisis right now, where I think every I don't know. I hear the number one complaint that women have is men are too, not the number one, but one of the complaints they hear people say, especially women, is men are not masculine nowadays, or men are too feminine, and and you know, having a good body and a structure is a big part of masculinity, right? It's the exterior part of masculinity, but it can build you inside as well. If you build the saying that goes, a strong body builds a strong mind, right? That journey that you go through from building yourself and putting the body through a massive amounts of torture just to get to a certain point, it builds you, it builds character, it builds adversity. You go through adversity, you go through pain. So that can build you as a man, build you to, take on anything that can come in your way, because you've gone through pain that is very hard, that very few people can go through. So for some reason that inspires other people to also do the same, especially young men. When you get DMs on Instagram or TikTok for guys saying, I really inspire you, I want to be like you, I want to do this, and the young guys, you know what I mean? So that guy could be doing something else. Instead of training and putting your body through and building your body, you could be doing things that are destroying your body, drugs, overconsumption of alcohol, eating unhealthy. So if you're able, why I'll do it sometimes, I'm inspiring more people, especially men, women of course, especially men to, become better versions of themselves. And for me, if I get better, they get better, right?
If you feel Guya right now, can you allow your son or your daughter to be a bodybuilder?
Yeah, it'd be quite, it'd be, it'd be the perfect world, of course. And I think, of course, I'd allow my son to do bodybuilding. It'd be quite a good way for my son and I to have something to even bond us together. I mean, so that'd be. Don't jinx it, but let's hope that one day happens.
But because of that is, the struggle, the sacrifice you go through. So like, just tell my son, this is the sacrifice. So if you're willing to go this sport, you have to sacrifice a lot.
Yeah.
Going to parties, you have to sacrifice things and do this.
Yeah.
So you will be okay to allow him to compete.
Yes, of course, my son. Yes, absolutely, because putting yourself to go when you compete, it's not even about the destination. Although the destination is important, but that journey there is what he needs to go through. So I would really like, if he competes, I know he's gone through that journey and he learned, there's a lot of lessons you can learn there, more than I can even teach.
How do you manage bodybuilding? Tell me you're prepping very well, you're prepping in family. How do you control it? How do you balance family, prepping, bodybuilding, work? How do you balance?
But right now, I don't have any, right now I'm yet to have children. And when I have my 10 sons, I'm not there yet. But I'd say right now it's not so hard because of course I don't have a huge family, but one thing you got to do is everyone has to know that you're on prep, right? And if everyone knows who's around you, everyone who's around you knows if you're on prep, they're in some sort of prep as well, right?
Yes.
So because you don't want anything interfering, because during prep, that's when most of your cravings come in. That's when a lot of problems come in. All these things come in. So you have to really be very intentional in telling everyone around you that you're on prep. So that's how once you manage that, and if they can respect that enough, they become part of your team and actually support you. Yeah.
Okay. Guya, what the advice can you give a young guy, a young boy, as you want to start bodybuilding right now?
Start bodybuilding.
You want to start bodybuilding?
Okay. Do it for, it's precisely bodybuilding is like the journey. The journey is more important than the destination, right? Don't be so eager to achieve everything right now, right? Because most people now, when they start bodybuilding, someone is telling you they want to be a certain size in a year, and you're thinking, yeah, bro, that's unless you have some
magic.
Unless you have some magic, I don't think that's going to happen. So be in it for a very long time. Because I'm in my early 30s, and well, you can say mid 30s now. And now that is when I'm seeing success in bodybuilding, where most people, a kid who's 20 years old wants to see success at 22. I mean, okay. So, and it's not going to happen because your body needs to develop. You need to develop muscle maturity. You need to develop how to train. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day.
True.
So when you're young, you have that eagerness and you lack patience. You can work hard, but patience is not something very many young people have. They work very hard, very, very hard, but patience. So because now with that lack of patience, they'll work very hard, but how long can you work hard for? Not many people can work hard for long.
True.
I mean, so a lot of these young guys would want the results too soon and stop working hard when they don't see it coming. So that's why I say just stay in it. Give it 5 years. 5 years of extreme hard work. Then, 5 years of extreme hard work, maybe in between there you can do a show, but don't want to just win a show or be a tip-top shape, world-class physique, and you just started yesterday. I mean, go through the hard work. That a good physique shows that someone has gone through trials and tribulations to be able to get there. So you need you need those trials and tribulations to happen. And to a point where God has tested you, where if you really, really want this.
Okay. What is the thing people they don't see in bodybuilding? They just saw the muscle. But behind the scene, there's a lot of sacrifice you put in.
There's a lot, of course. I mean, you just said it. It's a sacrifice. No one sees that. No one sees the failed tries. No one sees the hard, the injuries. I mean, a lot of it is you only get to see the finished product. I mean, you know, like it's like if I bring out food for you in a restaurant, you don't get to see how the kitchen was, all the things that came into it, the grind. Yeah, they just see the finished product. So, I mean, it's fair to them. They're not going to see it. You know, there's a saying that goes, Japanese saying that goes, champions are made when no one is watching, right? So when no one is watching, no one is supposed to watch anyway, so that's okay. And I understand. I don't hold it on people if they don't know what it goes through. It's their job. It's not their job to know. But it's good. At least they get to recognize what the final product.
Okay. Give me top 5 bodybuilders who got the best condition in 001 than last year.
Can I put I'm not putting myself there.
Yeah, no,
Not me.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say Sultan. Sultan was dialed down to the bone. I'll say Ochino. Ochino was looking. Ochino's skin was light. I'll say what's his forget his name. Trains at Hood Gym. Ronnie, yeah. Marciala. Marciala was looking. This is the best Marciala's ever looked. Vitaly, of course. Men's Physique. What's his name? In Men's Physique, we had who? Of course, our champ.
Joe
Ripa was. It's always just looking. Those, I don't know how he does that. In fact, that's what made him win Mr. East Africa. He was like the only one with like sides,
last
with
year.
like obliques.
Yes.
I said those are top 5, yeah.
Yeah, that's top 5.
Those are top 5, yeah.
Okay. Give me top 5 people who have potential, but they need to work a little bit hard kidogo. Grafike pahali.
Okay.
You can see this guy has a potential, but
maybe not work hard, but just work the right way.
Okay.
No, let me say potential,
Yeah.
but not potential that everyone is working hard.
Yes,
I know everyone is working hard, but if they keep on at their pace, Ronnie, of course.
Ronnie,
definitely. I think Litali's muscle bellies are some of the best you'll ever see.
Last year.
Whichever year.
Okay. That's two.
Even like he's I think if he just puts in a little bit more something somewhere,
Okay.
right? He's an Olympia athlete.
When it comes to posing, that guy is
an Olympia athlete.
Yes.
He's an Olympia athlete, hands down. If he just something, if he figures out just something somewhere, right? And of course, I believe he'll be able to. 5. That's hard.
Just two. That's two. Ronnie,
That's true.
Vitali, that's two. 3 more.
I think what's his name? Wesonga. Wes hasn't reached his full potential. I think Wes still can come in a lot more, like, because he looks good, right? But I think there's somewhere he could also just dial in a bit more. I mean, to be fair, I also think I can do a lot more. I know also some things I need to figure out. So this is not a hit on them. This is just saying that there's some things that if they figured out some things, these guys will
That's 3.
separate themselves. I have to think category by category. So let's say in Barak. Even Barak was, Barak. If Barak has a size, he just dials down condition, we're all dead. Who else? That's how many? 4.
That's for 1 more.
I'll give it to. That's 4. 1 more. It's a hard one.
We have someone like Brighton. We have the other guy called
Brighton. I can't even. Men's Physique don't even get me there. That thing was so close. I don't even want to talk about Men's Physique. It's just. I just know Ripper won.
That's
Ripper won, and I
Okay,
just
if you look at Men Physique, we have Brighton, we have Diongo, we have Joe, and who else? Who else was number 3? The guy from Coast, the small guy. There's a guy called
yeah.
That
But
boy.
but he wasn't. If he puts on size, him is
Yes, that boy was in category yake alikuja number 1. Alishinda. Yes.
yeah. I saw him because he was he had a very tiny waist. His posing was amazing. His posing was dialed in.
Very problem with his size.
Size, yeah. So if he puts on size, I mean, there you've just said it. If he puts on size, it's done. So I mean, everyone has something to work on here, but
Malizia, I want you to do, who do you think you can win the show between these men?
okay, don't get me bad, man. Come on.
We have, okay, we have Lipa, we have Wes, we have Hanif, and we have Rachel. Who else? Those four. Who do you think will win the show?
We have Reaper.
We have Lipa, Wes, Hanif, and Rachel.
I don't know who to pick between Hanif and Ripper because it's two different.
Hanif is cemetery, is the guy from cemetery. But when it comes to Ripper, it's the guy who brought.
I mean, Ripper is it's in the name. I mean, it's in the name. Guy's ripped to the bone, huh? So it's a very hard one.
You are the judge now.
Hanif has Hanif's size is Hanif can jump to classic physique akiamua tu and get too open. I mean, so me as a judge, it'll be dependent on who comes in off that day, right? So at their best, it's hard to pick, but you'll never find anyone at their best. So I'll be looking for mistakes if I was to judge them.
This way. And if you did the show with 6 on December in South Africa, and Joe did the show in South Africa, we posted one.
Yeah.
So there's very small difference between
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, you can't. It's different cameras, different picture quality. So, if let's say if you looked at an athlete who did 001 and did a show in the South Africa the previous weekend, the picture looks different, right?
You have top 4. Let's go top 4. Who the top 2 you think you can win?
And Hanif and Ripper. Hanif and Ripper. Yeah.
And you get other categories, you come to the weight, you say Barak and Farah, it will be the bottom, right?
Barak can if he came in conditioned. It's very. I mean, he was more conditioned than he was last year, but if he even goes even further.
What happened to
Marcella? I don't know what happened to him because I thought he'd be. Personally, I had Marcella winning the light heavy. I thought he'd win light heavy. Because he has very good. He's full. He's a full guy. So maybe I think conditioning might have been an issue on that day. Maybe timing. Maybe sometimes you miss your peak. I don't know what it is, but personally, before the show, of course, I didn't watch light heavy because it's right before my show, so I can't really see much. But before the show, I would have thought Marcella would be winning light heavy. Yeah, I didn't know who was doing classic, so I wasn't.
the classic was the guy called General 7. The guy, there's a guy we put us at the beginning, the best posing in the classic in Australia.
Oh yeah, Nani. Hey, yeah. I even forgot about him. Yeah, that's another guy who, if he dialed in, he looked better than last year. But that's a young gun, huh? It's a young guy. That's a very good physique. That's a very good physique.
General 7 was when I find out then Italy,
Was that,
that's the show Italian show.
yeah.
Then we have 2 I think. Sultan.
Sultan came. Number 2. Or 2, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much
My pleasure, man.
for showing up. Just for this very inspiring story, and someone who will understand. People got to come in the show. We are not behind the scene. So I really appreciate it. Let's say this year was a plan. But remember, what I'm saying, we don't need to compete.
Msini, don't forbid me from training here.
No, there's still people.
It's not to prove some. Okay, I mean, there's some things you haven't proved yet, but it's not to prove anything. It's just for the culture. The culture, yeah, no. Yeah. I mean, give you an example. If we had, let's say, we had Rashid come back versus me, and versus, I mean, well, me, Rashid, Cobra, all on the same stage, competing for the same thing. How entertained would the fans be? Be tough, and that's something that's for the culture. You think we'll do it for the money then? No, no one's doing it for the money then. Everyone's doing it for the culture. And
This time we didn't know the same condition.
I don't, of course. Well, I don't know what happened. I don't know. I can't say what happened in his. But I think only him he can explain.
As you know, Shafi, because you've done with him, the Shafi and Constitution one is the same Shafi. Look at that picture.
I'd say he was drier in the previous 001 because his cuts were much deeper. He maybe had maybe just drier. I don't know if he had the same size. I think he had the same size, maybe even bigger. But I think the judges were more focused on conditioning. Yeah, I know one of the judges there, two of the judges who were there judging. I know them in terms of what they like very well, and I know conditioning, they prioritize conditioning a bit more than size. You still have to have size, but they'll take someone who's a bit more conditioned with a little less size and a bit more size with a little less condition. So they'll always pick the slightly conditioned guy. And that's why that stage was filled with more conditioned guys in the finals than not. Yeah.
So you mean, not the corner show, you say you still come out.
I'm not, it's not my priority, but if God allows it and everything is in line, if it's in line with other shows and it doesn't interfere with anything, why not?
I wish you the best. I think that's what we do. We did the extra to subscribe. Let us know. Don't forget to do your Instagram. See you next time.
See you, bro.